Alright villains and vigilantes, welcome back. We swung through Gotham's past before Batman Begins, but today we're jumping forward to 2009, a year that arguably changed superhero gaming forever. We're talking about the game that clawed its way to countless best ever lists, the game that actually truly makes you feel like the Batman. Yes, I get it, the meme, but it actually does. A game that kicked off a legendary trilogy, or quadrilogy if you want to include Origins, but most people don't, which really is a shame because it's a great game. Okay, maybe I'll revisit Origins another time if we're on going too much of a rant here. The game we're looking at today is of course Batman Arkham Asylum.
To spoil everything, didn't you?
It's over, Joker.
Do you really think you can win?
Developed by the then relatively unknown Rocksteady Studios, Arkham Asylum wasn't just a great Batman game, it felt like a revelation. The atmosphere, the combat, the stealth, the characters, it just clicked. It racked up countless Game of the Year awards and cemented itself in the Gaming Hall of Fame. But here we are in 2025, a full 16 years later. We've had sequels, spin-offs, countless other superhero games. We've had the downfall of its creators in a heartbreaking way.
Yeah, we bloody know. You never shut up about it.
We've seen its mechanics iterated on, copied, and maybe even surpassed. So the question has to be asked, stripping away the nostalgia goggles, is Arkham Asylum actually still that good? Does it hold up today, or was it just lightning in a ball for its time? Well, before we check ourselves into the asylum for the night, let's quickly rewind and see how this lightning was actually caught. How did this seemingly out of nowhere classic get made? Who were Rocksteady Studios back before 2009? Honestly, not exactly a household name. They were a relatively small London-based developer whose main credit at that point was the solid but fairly obscure first-person shooter Urban Chaos Riot Response. Taking on Batman, one of the biggest IPs on the planet, was a massive leap of faith and a significant gamble by publisher Eidos Interactive and Warner Bros. But Rocksteady had a vision. Instead of chasing the trend of huge open world cityscapes that previous Batman games often struggle with, or doing a direct movie tie-in, they pitched a more focused, contained experience. Their idea: trap Batman on Arkham Island with his greatest foes for one intense night. This Batman in a pressure cooker concept, emphasising atmosphere and leveraging the iconic setting, was key to getting the licence. They chose to use Unreal Engine 3, which was a powerhouse engine at the time. This allowed them to build an incredibly detailed atmospheric world and create high fidelity character models without spending years building tech from scratch. It let them focus on nailing the feel of being Batman instead. And they also had a secret weapon. The writer they brought on board, Paul Dini. If that name sounds familiar, it should. Dini was one of the creative forces behind the absolute benchmark of Batmedia, Batman the Animated Series, and the co-creator of Harley Quinn herself.
Hey, Batman, what you gonna do? Kick me around and save your kitten? You've only got time for one. Good call. Help!
Getting a writer of this caliber, someone who deeply understood the Batman, the Joker, and their twisted relationship, was a masterstroke. It instantly lent the project huge credibility and ensured the story and characterizations would be leagues ahead of your average video game script at the time. While the game's plot is an original story crafted by Dini, it definitely drew atmospheric inspiration from seminal works like Grant Morrison and Dave McKean's haunting graphic novel Arkham Asylum: A Serious House on Serious Earth, along with the general tone and character dynamics established in the animated series. Dini's involvement ensured that even amidst the chaos, the characters felt authentic. So, you had a passionate, hungry developer with a focused pitch, powerful engine tech, and arguably the best Batman writer in the business steering the narrative ship. The stage was set for something special. Now, let's see what happened when the door slammed shut. The game kicks off with what should be a routine night for Bats. He's just apprehended the Joker, again, after attack on City Hall, and is personally escorting him back to the asylum. But right from the get-go, something feels off. Joker seems way too happy to be going back inside.
Yo, Frankie, how's the wife and kids? You miss me?
Shut it, clown! A lot of people here really want to talk to you.
The guards are tense, the atmosphere is thick with dread. Batman's spidey sense, Bat sense is tingling like crazy.
Warden, something's not right. I'm going with him.
And sure enough, it hits the fan quicker than you can say, why so serious?
Joker's loose. Alert the warden.
The joke's on you. Ta-da! Honey, I'm home.
Come on in.
Welcome to the Madhouse, Batman! I set a trap, and you sprang it gloriously!
Joker breaks free with the help of Harley Quinn in that iconic nurse outfit, seizes control of the island security, releases the inmates and traps Batman inside. His goal? To put Batman through the worst night of his life, broadcast it all, and maybe, just maybe, finally break the bat.
Well, I'd love to stay and chat, but I have a party to organize. I've got guests flying in from all over Arkham. You'll see.
Right away, Rocksteady introduces a pillar of the Arkham experience. These initial fights serve as a tutorial for the legendary Freeflow Combat. At this stage it's mostly striking and countering, but even here, you could feel that rhythm, that potential for stylish, brutal efficiency. It feels good. We also get our first taste of detective mode. Tap a button and the world turns into this blue hued X-ray, highlighting enemies, points of interest, clues. It's incredibly useful. Maybe too useful, as many players ended up leaving it on most of the time, turning Gotham's Guardian and the supernatural world into Detective Vision Man. But hey, it works. Arkham Island feels like a character itself, dark, oppressive, dripping with history and madness. Plus, we get the definitive voices. Kevin Conroy is Batman.
Joker's opened every cell in Arkham.
Mark Hamill is the Joker. Their performances immediately elevate everything. Joker's glee.
Boom! Only kidding.
Batman's stoic determination.
You're safe now.
But it's a trap!
I know. Just not for me.
It's just perfect. Now, Joker's first move is to capture Commissioner Gordon.
Just in case you were planning on following me, I've arranged a little insurance. Gordon is on his way to Harley as we speak.
Officer Bowles.
Our initial main objective is tracking him down, leading us deeper into the asylum, less secure, more chaotic areas. Along the way we get creepy encounters like Victor Zsasz holding a guard hostage, a tense little sequence introducing a different kind of threat. This section also properly introduced the second pillar of the Arkham gameplay, Predator. Batman isn't just a brawler, he's a terrifying hunter who uses the environment and fear itself as a weapon. Rocksteady absolutely nails this feeling. You enter into rooms filled with armed thugs, guys who shred you in a straight fight. So you take to the shadows, the vents, the conveniently placed gargoyles, and lucky for you, almost every room in the game has gargoyles. Someone must have had a clearance sale when they were building this place. You pick off goons one by one, silent takedowns, inverted takedowns, using the Batarang to create a distraction, maybe blowing a wall with explosive gel to create a new path, or scare the living daylights of some poor schmuck. Watching these thugs get progressively more terrified as their buddies disappear is immensely satisfying. He's using the vents! Yes. Yes he is. The level design here starts to open up too. It's not quite a Metroidvania, but there's definitely that feeling of interconnectedness, backtracking with the new gadgets later, and secrets tucked away everywhere. And speaking of secrets, we meet Edward Nygma, the Riddler. Albeit only over the comms, he's littered the island with trophies, riddles, and patient interview tapes constantly mocking Batman's intellect.
Nygma, the Riddler, and more importantly, your intellectual superior. My genius has allowed me to easily hack into your primitive communications.
These collectibles add a ton of replay value and lore, fleshing out the world and its inhabitants. Though let's be honest, finding all 240 of them is a task only for the truly dedicated, or the truly mad. The Riddler himself probably couldn't even find them all.
Edward, please, calm down.
Wake up, Gotham! No sane, law-abiding man does those things. No one's that selfless. Batman is as vile as they come.
Security! Security!
Just as you're getting comfortable with the brawling and sneaking, Arkham Asylum throws its first major curveball and arguably its most memorable sequences. Scarecrow.
Poor little bat, you're in my world now.
Jonathan Crane doses Batman with his fear toxin and suddenly the game shifts genres entirely. These nightmare sequences are pure psychological horror brilliance. Reality warps, the camera's perspective shifts to a side-scroller, Batman relives his parents' murder, the environment becomes twisted and demonic, you're often hunted by a huge terrifying Scarecrow whose gaze means instant death.
I know you're there.
These aren't just jump scares, they're deeply unsettling, playing on Batman's deepest fears and vulnerabilities. The visual design is incredible, and the shift to pure stealth and platforming under the gaze of giant horror is genuinely tense. They break the fourth wall as well, even pretending to crash the game and going as far as to make it look like the opening cutscene is playing again, but this time, something isn't quite right.
He don't look so big and scary now, does he, Mr. J?
These sections proved Arkham Asylum wasn't just going through the motions. Rocksteady was willing to get weird, to get creative, and to explore the psychological depth of the Batman mythos in ways games really hadn't done before. The whole fourth wall breaking, game crashing and starting back up again sequence was a way to mess with the players in a way that makes you feel like Scarecrow's toxin is actually affecting you. It's brilliant. Now, back in relative reality, Joker isn't just sitting idle. He's cooking up something nasty using Dr. Penelope Young's research, the Titan formula, a super steroid derived from Bane's venom.
Since you've made it this far, let me show you what I've cooked up.
This leads to the introduction of those hulking charging Titan thugs, who shake up the standard combat encounters, requiring specific tactics like bataranging them mid-charge or using the classic dodge and jump on their back strategy. Speaking of Bane, we get our first major traditional boss fight against the man who brought the bat himself. It's okay. It serves as a good tutorial for the dodging, charging enemies and using batarangs tactically, but it's maybe not the most complex or memorable fight in the series. Still, seeing Bane juiced up on Titan is actually pretty intimidating. The mid-game really parades Batman's infamous rogues gallery, chase down Harley Quinn who's having way too much fun.
Come and get me, bats! I double dare ya!
We have a creepy trek through Killer Croc's lair, mostly atmosphere and avoiding jump scares, and continue to unravel the Joker's plans while gathering more nifty gadgets. The Batclaw becomes essential for yanking down high up vents or pulling unsuspecting thugs off ledges. The line launcher opens up new traversal possibilities, letting you zip across large gaps, sometimes even setting up mid-air takedowns. The gadgets integrate seamlessly into both exploration and combat. The level design continues to impress, guiding you through distinct areas like the Gotham Arkham Mansion and the overgrown botanical gardens, each with its own feel and secrets. The island feels like less of a series of levels and more like a cohesive, interconnected place. Just when you think you're through dealing with Joker's Titan fuel chaos, another major villain throws a spanner, or maybe a giant carnivorous plant, into the works. Poison Ivy. Free from a cell by Harley and decides Arkham needs a green makeover, a very deadly green makeover. She uses her mutant plants juiced up by the Titan formula throwing through the island's water pipes to completely overtake large sections of Arkham. Giant vines erupt everywhere, the environment changes drastically and you're fighting mind-controlled guards tangled in killer plants. It's a great late game shake-up, is visually distinct and introduce new environmental hazards. This leads to another major boss fight against Ivy herself, piloting a monstrous plant creature. This fight's more of a spectacle than anything really. It requires you to dodge projectiles and vines and use your batarang throws to precisely hit Ivy when she opens a plant cocoon. It does look cool, but again, maybe not the most mechanically deep encounter. As you push towards the endgame, the combat and predator encounters get noticeably tougher. Joker throws more varied enemy types at you, guys with tasers, armoured brutes, knife wielders, forcing you to constantly adapt your tactics and prioritise targets. Predator rooms becomes more complex, requiring smarter use of gadgets like the upgraded backclaw to rip down multiple walls, or triple batarangs for crowd control, and more intricate planning to clear silently. I'm starting to feel like Batman had a hand in designing this place, and maybe Bruce donated all these gargoyles to the asylum at some point, just in case. The game does a great job maintaining momentum. The stakes feel genuinely high as Joker's plan nears its climax, and Arkham itself seems to be tearing itself apart under the combined strain of Titan, Ivy's plants, and general lunatic mayhem. Finally, it comes down to this. Joker invites Batman to a party, a final showdown seemingly set up for the cameras he's been broadcasting on all night.
Party is about to start. We've got something for everyone. Music, dancing, chemicals that create monsters. You don't want to miss it.
Naturally, it's an ambush, featuring waves of Joker's goons including multiple Titan thugs simultaneously, making for some chaotic final brawls. But the real main event comes when Joker, frustrated that the Batman still won't break and somehow manages not to be affected by the Titan formula, God knows how.
You're trying to resist the change. That's not fair. Come on, get in. Oh, you're ruining my big night. Months of planning down the crapper.
But Joker decides to take matters into his own. Claws, fingernails. He injects himself with a massive dose of the Titan formula. Transforming into the hulking, monstrous Titan Joker.
Showdown, Batman!
The final boss fight is interesting. It's a bit like the other boss fights in the game, a bit of a letdown. It's more of a spectacle and a test of endurance and a complex mechanical challenge. It cleverly repurposes mechanics used earlier against the Titan thugs and Bane. Dodging, charging, fighting various goons, pull Joker off his ledge 3 times, hit him in the face, you know, the kind of 3-phase boss that we had back in the day. It's visually impressive seeing the Joker as this grotesque monster and thematically fitting as he becomes the kind of brute force that he usually despises. Is it the best final boss fight ever? Definitely not. But it serves its purpose as a climactic knockdown drag-out fight to finally end this long terrible night.
Take anything you throw at me, Bats. You can't beat me. I'm actually going to win. Ready for the next round?
Always.
What?
I'll never let you win. Never.
As usual, Batman prevails, Joker's subdued, and suffers some nasty side effects from the Titan. Gordon is safe and the sun is finally rising over Arkham Island. Batman leaves ready for the next challenge, leaving us with that iconic shot. And maybe a little post-credit tease into that future troubles. Okay, so we've relived the nightmare, we've taken down the clown, the plants, the monsters, we've grappled across countless gargoyles, so back to that big question. 16 years on, is Batman Arkham Asylum actually still that good? My verdict? Yes. Absolutely, unequivocally, yes. Sure, looking back with modern eyes, some elements haven't aged perfectly, some boss fights are a bit simplistic by today's standards, the reliance on detective mode can undercut the beautiful art direction if you overuse it, and maybe the world, while atmospheric, feels a little constrained compared to the open world cities of the later games. But those are minor bat niggles. What Arkham Asylum nailed, it nailed with revolutionary precision. It remains a masterclass in atmosphere, game design and understanding its source material. It expertly blended two core gameplay pillars, Freeflow Combat and Predator Stealth, wrapped it in an unforgettable setting and delivered one of the most definitive Batman experiences ever. It kicked off a phenomenal set of games and set the standard that many games, superhero or otherwise, still strive to reach. But its sequels would go bigger, expanding into open world Gotham. There's a tightness, a focus, a perfectly contained intensity to Asylum that remains incredibly compelling. If you've never played it, you absolutely owe it to yourself. It's readily available in the Return to Arkham collection. If you have played it, maybe it's time to check yourself back in for another night. It's still one hell of a party.
Oh, a little bat.
And that's it. My deep dive retrospective into Batman Arkham Asylum. What do you think? Does it still hold up as one of the greats for you? What's your favourite moment, boss fight or Scarecrow sequence? Which is the best game in the Arkham series overall? Let me know all your bat thoughts down in the back comments. If you enjoyed revisiting the madness, please like the video. It sends a back signal to the YouTube algorithm, and if you want more retrospective on gaming classics and maybe some hidden gems, then please subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next trip down memory lane. Thanks for watching everyone, stay safe out there, avoid creepy asylums run by clowns, and I'll see you in the next video.